in baby step 5, we are saving for our children's college. We're saving for education. Now, Dave doesn't want you to just save that money and stash it away. He wants you to invest it so it grows over time and it grows with your child or children. Now, how do you do that? Well, there are 2 great ways to go about investing this money for education-related expenses. We have the 529 on the one hand, and then we have ESAs on the other. Now let's start with the 529. A 529 is just an account that allows you to invest money that you can later use for things like books, tuition, any other education-related expenses. And when you go to take out that money, as long as it was used for an educational purpose, you withdraw that money tax-free. That's right, this money is actually growing with a tax advantage because you're not getting taxed when you pull that money out. Now, there are tons of options when it comes to 529s, and honestly, every state has their own version of it. So it is definitely worthwhile to check them out, to do some shopping around, but I would definitely start with the 529s in your state specifically, especially if you live in a state with income tax. So start there. But by no means are you required to use the 529 that's available in your state. You can use other 529s. Perhaps you like something that's not currently available in your state. You can go ahead and use that. So definitely shop around. So with the 529, that money has to be used for higher education specifically, whereas in ESA, you have more flexibility because it can be any education-related expense. Now with that, of course, ESAs will differ depending on what you're looking at. So I would definitely suggest you get with a financial expert, consider your options, and find one that makes sense for you and your family. And just like the 529, ESAs allow you to withdraw that money tax-free. Of course, as long as you use it for education expenses. Now, unlike a lot of the other baby steps that Dave Ramsey will give you, he doesn't actually give you a specific amount per se or a percentage, because I think this is where it varies depending on your situation, right? If you only have one child and you know you're only having one child, then that can vary greatly from somebody who maybe has 5 kids, right? So the amount you put in here will vary. It'll also depend on how much extra cushion you have in your budget after you've done some of the other things like saving your 15% for retirement, for example, from baby step 4. And by the way, if you are getting any value out of today's video and you're learning something, please give it a like and leave me a comment below. Are you familiar with 529s or ESAs? Maybe you have one already set up for your children. I'd definitely love to hear from you. Now, again, going back to the very basics with anything that Dave Ramsey suggests, it always varies depending on the person, on what you're comfortable with. He really wants you to get started here though. With baby step 5, the key is to just start doing it, because with time, as your children grow, this money will grow with them. And what's great is you don't have to put a whole lot in to start with, you just want to get started. So with that in mind, think about what's feasible for you and your family, what makes sense in your budget, and what do you really want to do long term. Some people feel a burden to pay completely for their child's higher education, while some may not. I would definitely encourage you, once your children start getting to an age where they're available to apply for grants and scholarships, definitely encourage them to do that. That's free money you could be leaving on the table, and there's millions of dollars left every year untouched because it's just unclaimed. These scholarships just don't get used. So definitely encourage your children, definitely let them know that there's free money out there that can pay their way through school. Now, if you're not totally familiar with all of Dave Ramsey's baby steps and you happen to join today, definitely take a look at the first video I did in this series where I did an overview of the 7 baby steps. It'll greatly help you understand, and definitely go back and watch each of the baby steps because I've been doing a detailed explanation on each one. So now that we've wrapped up number 5, we will be going on to baby step 6 and then baby step 7. So stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so you get notified when I post those videos. And thank you so much. I will catch you on the next video.